Hello everyone, so welcome back to SWM Chronicles. Today is Saturday the 17th of August, and I wanted to just stitch with you today so I can just have everything uploaded and ready for Monday. I think that the Monday schedule can be the best for me. Let's see how's that going to work. Please let me know if that also works for you, because I had like a tiny poll to ask which day would be best, and it seems that Monday was quite high with everything. So that would be amazing if you could confirm that it works for you. If not, I will just try to move the filming and uploading, and let's see. It's just like basically weekend is best for me to film, because at least one of the days, either Saturday or Sunday, I have no plans, so I can just sit and stitch. But yeah, this is the organizational stuff. My name is Dobby and Covered in Floss. This is my channel about cross stitch, and today we are going to stitch on the gorgeousness that is called, let me see if I can just show you that like that. I will try to like edit the video and have the picture here so you could see what's happening and what am I stitching on and so on. Let's see how's that going to work in terms of technicalities, because it's me. Okay, so I'm just like making that bigger, and let's see if just by moving my tablet I can just show you that before. Do we have that? Almost the full one is visible here. So this is a chart that was created by the Cross Stitch Studio, and the of course I closed it because why not, and the artwork is by Misty Walkup. So, and you know that I am absolutely obsessed with Little Red Riding Hood. So the moment I saw this chart, and it was like ages ago already, because I have had it for at least 4 or 5 years, I would say. I would need to check my purchase history, but when I saw it, it was just like, I'm sorry for just shaking you a bit. I definitely need to get like another stand because this one is not working properly. But let me try to move it a bit differently so that I hope that I'm not going to shake you too much. Okay, and just moving like a bit here so maybe we can see. Can you see everything? Hope so. Just like the only thing that I am worried is that today I am stitching like the second color, and this is 3756, and unfortunately I am not sure how visible it's going to be on the white fabric. Let's see. But basically I wanted to talk about my stitchy bag today, because as you know, I was struggling because that tiny creature was missing in action for a very long time, and I wasn't stitching on anything. And now when it came back, because apparently it is very much back at the moment, so I not only stitch on everything I have, but I already had 2 new starts, 1 restart, and I am planning 2 new restarts, or at least 1. But I'm not going to give you details at the moment because I am still thinking very intensely about that. So let's see. But yeah, I decided that if I am going to stitch on something, I want to really enjoy the stitching itself. So that's why there were decisions on restarts and so on. And actually I wanted to stitch on this one of the restarts. However, this is an ornament, and if you watched my videos before, my brain gets completely broken on ornaments, and especially if they start with a bit of confetti. So I was trying to sit today to prepare like floss and so on, and then I decided that I just like simply cannot. I cannot do that because it's kind of too much for my brain, and I just don't want to deal with trying to figure out how to start in a way that the video as well would be enjoyable for you. So that's why I just decided to go with the Better to See You With. I just realized that I didn't even mention the title of the artwork, because there is a block that I am going to stitch at the moment. But as I said, the problem is that the block is in 3756, so I truly hope that you can see where we are. And as always, I am stitching on 22 count Zweigart Sulta. This is a hardanger fabric that I absolutely love for my full cross, for my cool full coverages. My tongue refuses to cooperate today apparently. So for my full coverages, and I'm doing that full cross with one strand of CXC, because this is what I fell in love with, and this is what I'm using for all my full coverages at the moment. So let me just quickly check if we are still in the frame. Yes, we are. So this is what I'm doing at the moment, and I'm just like sitting in a funky position now that I see kind of like a bit of a screen, but I cannot fully say what you are seeing. So I truly hope that this is visible. If not, you basically will be looking for an hour, if you decide to watch it, at my hand moving back and forth on a white fabric or over one white fabric, because why not? So yeah, basically stitchy back. When it's back at the moment, only now I started realizing how much I missed stitching. And wait, because I already see that I made a mistake, of course. So when I was greeting, basically it was yay. I absolutely cannot count to 10 in this tiny bit that you can see here. It's not so visible, but like a few squares further, you can already see here that counting to 10 is not necessarily my forte, but as it seems, it is not a forte for any of the cross stitcher who starts to grade their fabric. I have never doubted myself more, and it says a lot than when I count to 10 while greeting. So I'm happy that I managed to catch it when it was still at the beginning, so I just didn't need to redo the whole one, especially that these are my first times grading with the friction pens. So I truly hope that this works, and especially that underneath all this light thread it won't be visible after ironing, after just like using the iron on that. If not, I'm just going to strangle Mrs. Darling Bluebell, because she convinced me to use friction pens. No, we'll be good. Mika, you're good. And of course, because we cannot just start super smoothly, so I already have a gorgeous knot in here. Of course, that is it going to be one of those that are just so super annoying that you cannot undo it in any way. I don't have a specific technique, and especially just like on the light thread, you truly cannot see anything, how to approach that and so on. So I'm just trying to put my needle somewhere into the knot, and with the hope that it's going to lose something, but I think that it's not the case this time. At least I managed to get it to the other side. So let's see if that's too thick to be like working underneath, because sometimes when I have just like knots, I just try to move that underneath, and then I kind of showing that on the top. So I keep the thread and I work with the other piece of thread kind of over that, so it won't be moving, it won't cause the stitch to be too loose and so on. However, just like I don't know if this one will be doable this way. Let's see what it's going to feel like when it's underneath my fabric, if this is something that I think that this is okay and I can do that. So as you can see, I have like now a tiny like a loop in here with the knot at the end. So I'm going to hold that with my finger and just check, at least at the beginning, if it's getting underneath my thread that I am working. So this way I am anchoring that, and when I do like about 10 stitches or something, I'm just going to cut the knot, because the loose thread is already anchored underneath, so nothing is going to happen here. So yeah, when I started stitching again, I realized what was missing, because each of us, I'm sure of it, has like a different reason to stitch. For me, it's a very therapeutic, very meditative, I would say, activity that truly helps me ground myself. So I have a few things that I do that kind of ground me, and I try to do them every day. So first, this is my journaling. I try to write even a few sentences every day, just to put on paper some overflowing thoughts if they happen. So it's a bit easier to Marie Kondo my brain by throwing away stuff that doesn't spark joy or just wants to come out. So this is journaling, but then I really, really need something that is so repetitive that you are just like looking at the fabric, you are looking at your pattern, and you are doing like one tiny cross after another, and you are creating something. So this is definitely something that I missed when my Stitchy bag was away. So I'm very, very happy that it's back at the moment, and I can just enjoy its presence, stitch a bit, and be with me. So normally when I stitch, I either have an audiobook or a podcast playing. Sometimes I have a floss tube playing in the background. Especially I love stitching with Stitch With Me's. So this is also one of the motivations why I am doing this Stitch With Me Chronicles. Because maybe there is somebody who just likes doing the same as I do. And my voice, even though I absolutely hate my voice on the recordings, I always think that I sound like a cartoon character, but oh well. There are worse things in life than that, so I can live with that. So if you enjoy that, I enjoy that too. But basically, I also realized, because while stitching on the last thing that I stitched on, that I completely don't remember at the moment what that was. What were we stitching on last time? Was it Anne of Green Gables? I think so. So, even though that I was basically talking all the time, I did quite a lot, and it was like a good pace, good stitchy tempo, so I'm not going to complain about that. So if I can talk, because I love talking, if I can stitch at you, if I can talk at you and I can stitch with you, sorry, and you listen to me later and you stitch along with me, hey ho, I love it. It's kind of a mutual benefit, I would say. So let me know if you just watch, if you just listen, or do you listen and stitch, or if you just like have it in the background and you just kind of zone out, because it also happens and I completely don't mind. So yeah, we're just stitching now, and I do enjoy the fact that I can do this Stitch With Me's for myself and for you. And I truly hope that I will be able to stick to the schedule, because what I realized is that I really need routine in my life. And this is so funky, because as a person with ADHD, creating routines is a total nightmare. But when I have nicely organized, scheduled things, I am thriving. So at the moment I am learning, I am not being too harsh on myself if I stumble or something, but I am truly learning how to work things into my day in a way that they are beneficial in terms of their results and in terms of how I feel about that. So there are things that I just like hate doing. So of course I procrastinate on them as much as possible, but I am trying to rewire at the moment a part of my brain and kind of implement them as a stable part of the day. Sorry, just need to take a sip or two. Like a stable part of every day. So I do that and it's done. And then it's just like, it's kind of off my head because it has been done. Then the second thing is that if that's, for example, one of the chores and it is connected to cleaning, I absolutely hate cleaning. I feel much better in a clean/clean-ish environment, like probably most of us do. So that's why I'm just like trying to do something. So at the moment, stitching, even though this is a pleasure, so of course I don't need to force myself to do that. However, when I decided to start doing this regular Stitch With Me's, it is to work on some of my pieces in peace. I know that it sounds so strange, so crazy. But the thing is that even with stitching, when I am stitching and I'm listening to something and so on, I still have the temptation to procrastinate and to take, for example, a break to scroll through Instagram or to check something or whatever. Or I have like a few games on my phone that I am absolutely obsessed with. So of course, I will just check, and of course one thing can sometimes lead to another. So instead of just like sitting for an hour and stitching and having like a nice chunk done, I sit there for 3 hours and I finish with, let's say, 200 stitches, which is not enough for 2 hours, especially not with these parts where I do not have like massive amount of confetti yet. So 2 hours should bring some rather substantial progress. Okay. Oh, I think that this is visible so we can see what we are working on. Awesome. That's why I decided to do this Stitch With Me's, because then I can really sit and I try to aim for about an hour with stitching, so I can really give some proper loving to a chosen piece. So I was also thinking if I should, for example, choose one specific project that I always want to work on, or rather, or I would like to have finished, so I would work on every time, but I'm not sure. Let me know what you think. At the moment, it's kind of like jumping between projects because I love all of them and I want to work on all of them. I don't have like a specific focus project that I would like to have finished, even though I know that Anne of Green Gables, I should make this one my focus piece. However, I did that last time when I started that, and then I couldn't touch it for like half a year. So maybe thinking about like focus pieces and so on is not for me. So at the moment, I'm just jumping in between and having fun. But let me know what you think. Would you like to see me working on one project, or are you okay with me just changing and showing you a variety of my stuff? Let me just... Oh, come on, you tiny thread. I just want to thread you and to... Yes. So I think that this one is done and doesn't want to continue with me. So I can anchor that. And I'm just going to snip it a bit. So even though the back of every full coverage piece, I think, is always a blanket, at least in my case, I can at least a bit prevent the thickness of the blanket. But no, I don't mind. I really don't care about my back, what it looks like and so on, because all of that is for me, so I really don't mind. And I do not think that most of the things that I'm working on, are going to be finished soon enough that I should, for example, worry about the framing and issues with framing. But no. Basically, talking about framing, I already started thinking that I want to learn how to do that semi-professionally. So I would be able to frame my own pieces, because framing is absolutely ridiculously expensive, especially if you want to do that, for example, with glass. Without glass, it's easier, but I don't want to my full coverage pieces to be hanging without glass and just be more exposed to dust and to I don't know, sun and so on. But yeah, the framing with normal glass is super expensive, and when I was thinking about like the museum glass to prevent the glare, oh my god, no. So I just started looking in general at how to frame things and so on, and it all looks doable. Of course, the materials to do that is pricey, but it's an investment that if I just start doing that, if I ever start to do that, that would be a really good investment. However, of course, that all kinds of equipment would be, like for cutting and so on, would be more expensive. However, we have a friend who is a carpenter, and he has his like home workshop, and that wouldn't be a problem for me to use his machines. So it's something definitely to consider, but it's definitely a part of my retirement plan, not now. Because I don't think that anything that I would like to frame so much, especially these huge pieces, are going to be finished before I retire. Let's see. Basically, I was just laughing so hard because one day I was working on my spreadsheet where I have all my current whips and so on, and I have the stats for them. So also how many stitches were already in there and how many stitches are left. So I decided to just play a bit with that and do some calculations. So when I think about my stitching in general, so the amount of stitches that I can put in a day without straining myself too much, even if that's a huge confetti area, is about 330 stitches. I really don't know why this very, very specific number came to my mind, but then I just like checked any kind of my statistics and it seems accurate. So I decided to take all these stitches that I have left. Let me just mark what I stitched. Divide them by these 330 stitches a day to get the number of days, and then just see how many years it's going to be. And if I'm lucky and I really manage to stay consistent with everything, it's going to be 33 years. And it just shows what kind of person I am, because instead of thinking, oh my God, this is so long and so on, I was just like, okay, I'm 41, it's 33, so it would be finished when I'm 74, within my lifetime still, so it is doable. And I started laughing at myself so hard because, yeah, it's my Pollyanna syndrome. So I really, basically in everything, I can find something positive, and it's so super annoying. So apparently it also worked for that here. So as you can see, we can finish everything when I am still able to enjoy it for at least a couple of years. So I'm not going to complain about that. But of course I need to be consistent, and I cannot add anything new to that. Yeah. Not going to comment on that, because I was laughing and I was just like talking to my boyfriend, and I told him that basically I think that in my possession I have all the patterns that I would like to stitch, and I kind of jokingly, but I'm getting pretty serious about it at the moment. Mind that it was like 2 days ago, so being pretty serious about that and committing to that doesn't say anything yet. And I was just thinking that as I have everything that I want, I am not going to buy any new full coverage patterns until I'm 50. So people, watch this space. Let's see how's that going to work, because yeah, but basically one thing that I know that I absolutely cannot do. So what I cannot do is watching Elera and Jen the Caffeinated Stitcher, because with these two fabulous, magnificent and completely mad women, and the amount of their whips, and they're talking, especially Jen, oh yes, I was just like thinking I can finish that this year, and then it's just at the end of her like 2024 planning and so on, they were just like, what about 100 finishes planned? I was just like, yeah, this is all doable. I can do that as well. So, but of course, to have 100 finishes, I need to have 100 whips. So I just like went and started starting everything that I could. No, not everything, but everything that I wanted. That's good that they were just like, altogether there are like 4 or 5 patterns that I wanted to start and restart, and I think that I am good for now. But basically, remember, these two are dangerous. These two are super dangerous. So if you don't want to start suffering from an extreme startitis, don't watch them. No, please go watch them. I absolutely love them. And there was just like such a funny thing with Jen, the caffeinated stitcher, because since I started watching Alara's videos, Alara was talking about Jen, and I was just like, yeah, I need to just check her and so on. And I checked her channel, and I just like fell in love and so on. And then, because when I was missing in action in general, along with my Stitchy bag from Floss Tube, so I was like fully missing. So I wasn't watching anything and so on. And now, as I came back, I'm also watching a lot of Floss Tube again. So I was just like, yeah, so watching Alara, of course, and Alara was mentioning Jen, and I was just like, yeah, this is so strange, because when I have like in my feed on YouTube, I have like videos from my subscriptions and so on. I haven't seen anything from Jen for a very long time. So I just like went to my subscription, and I was just like, wait, what? It turned out that I was watching Jen's videos, but apparently I have never clicked the subscribe button, or I did click that and something happened and it got unclicked, but I really don't know. So that's why she was missing from my subscription feed, because I wasn't subscribed. So of course that was rectified. I am now catching up on the videos that I apparently missed, and I enjoy them thoroughly, because you know that your girl loves long videos, long update videos, all the super long whip parades and so on. I truly don't mind if I sit with you for 5 hours. If I need to take like 6 breaks while watching your video, I don't mind. I really don't mind, because if I watch your video, I feel as if I was just like sitting there with you and stitching and just hanging with a stitchy friend. So of course I want to do that for as long as possible. That's why, give me all the long videos. And yeah, this is also just such a huge pain in general, that where I live, I don't have stitchy friends kind of on site. It's not that easy to just organize anything to meet up and so on, because I would absolutely love to just be able to sit with somebody over the weekend, like spend a weekend with somebody where we're just like stitching and chatting and stitching and drinking good tea and chat and stitch a bit more. So if my flat was bigger and we had like a proper guest room, or at least a proper guest sofa, none of the things exist here, unfortunately, then I would definitely just like, you know, think about inviting people over to come and stay with me. I would feed you, and you just need to be my friend. I will pay you in food and hopefully good company. But yeah, unfortunately no. So, and this year, because I was planning to go to Stitch Basel, unfortunately I needed to cancel, but for a very, very good reason, because we finally managed to get a good deal on holidays in Ireland in a way that we want to do them. So we are going to be for almost 2 weeks in Ireland in September, and the plan is to just land in Dublin. We already have a car rented, or it's already going to be waiting for us, and then we are going to be driving around the island and visiting all the amazing places that we want to visit. So I am super excited about that, because this is just like something that was kind of in planning, or there was an idea when we started dating. So basically the idea was born over 3 years ago. So my boyfriend, he loves Ireland. I love Ireland. So we decided to love Ireland together. But as we met in 2021, so everything was only very, very slowly opening after the lockdowns and so on. The prices were crazy. The prices were crazy. Basically, everything was around 3 times as expensive as it was in 2019. So, like, paying about 7,000 euros for a week for 2 people, for nothing fancy, I was just like, no, let's wait. So we were waiting, and we were checking very regularly the prices, and finally this year it started showing doable. It's still not going to be like a very, very cheap adventure. However, this is something that was in planning for this over 3 years, and we were saving already for that for that time. So we decided that yes, we are ready. Our budget is ready as well, so we can go and do that. And I am extremely excited. So I do not know our specific itinerary, because this is what my boyfriend is doing. However, let me know if there are any places in Ireland that a cross-stitcher needs to visit. If there are any, for example, shops that I need to visit, if there are any places that I need to see, or if any of you lives in Ireland and would like to maybe grab a quick tea or coffee, that would be also amazing. I really don't know the details yet, but if you would like to meet up, let me know, and I'm going to check the details with Mr. Organizer, and we can definitely think about something. So yeah, I'm super excited about that, but also I'm super sad that I am not going to see the people that I met on Stitch Puzzle last year. It was my first and so far only retreat, and I had a blast. I had a blast, even though I am a bit socially awkward, and I definitely get overstimulated very quickly with a lot of people. So I needed to take some breaks, but I was lucky that the place where I was staying was not so far from the venue. Oh, I'm so sorry, I just completely bumped you. was not so far from the venue, so I could just take a break, even go to my Airbnb and have a quick nap and so on, and go back and stitch again. So I enjoyed that immensely, and I met the most beautiful, the most amazing people ever there. So, and I know that so many of them are going to be in Basel this year as well. So it just like, it makes me a bit sad, but on the other hand, Ireland and all the planning, and definitely it's not the last retreat and so on. Yeah, basically, if you have any knowledge about any retreats in Europe, in the UK, next year, definitely next year, because this year is no, it's impossible, please let me know. I would absolutely love to get to some more Stitchy events and to meet more stitchers in person, because just being together and stitching together, or pretending to stitch in one room, it's a completely different experience. So yeah, basically I also started thinking, I don't know how's that going to work with a setup and so on, but I need to start thinking about organizing maybe virtual meetups. So from time to time we can organize something, or we can spontaneously just meet online, stitch together, chat together, and so on. So that would be super cool, but I just need to look into logistics of the same, because this is I am not very technical in this area and so on, and definitely, but this is another technical thing and technical setup. I would like to start doing some lives at least, so you could sit and stitch with me in the real time. That would be awesome. I also love lives. I am terrible at remembering about them and just like getting to them on time, but if I ever manage to catch like a couple of minutes, especially like for example Teresa Little Stitcher, her lives are just like so much fun. It's always just such a positive moment. But just one needs to be very, very careful not to get too enabled, because hashtag Teresa made me do it. See, I was really worried that this 3756, it's not going to be showing so well on the white fabric, but I think we can see everything. What do you think? This bit looks pretty good. I just hope everything is fine from how my phone is set in here, so you do not miss anything. I don't go outside of the screen. This is the problem with the tripod that I am using. I really love this stand. I really love this stand because it's for the price that I got it for, it is super stable, and it's a good quality in general. However, it's just, I think that it's a bit too high and I cannot get it lower. So you cannot see the position, but I need to have my elbow on the desk to kind of hold the fabric high enough so everything is visible here. And in the long run, it's not the most comfortable thing. That's why probably my stitch with me's are only about an hour. Probably if I was a bit more comfortable, it would be much longer, and I would be very sorry for that. Because as much as I always get distracted when I stitch and my phone is kind of busy, like this time where I'm doing the stitch with me. So I'm filming on my phone, so of course I cannot touch it and check anything and so on and get distracted. So probably I could just like sit like that and stitch for like good 2 hours. I don't know if talking would continue, because I already can feel that my throat is super dry, even though I'm sipping on my water all the time. But at least my voice maybe just like go a bit lower, so I don't sound like a cartoon anymore, or I just sound like a different cartoon. Yeah, still, don't mind. Okay, but I think that we're going to finish this thread, and that would be it for today. But I really enjoy that, especially that I can see that there is nothing worse than white on white, but this super light blue, as it claims it is, 3756, doesn't look that bad. And we are getting a pretty good progress on it, so not going to complain. I think that I'm also super happy that I had like a bit of block stitching here. I didn't want to just like start filling in all these tiny ninja stitches that we have here. I'm wondering if this is something that I would like to do during the stitch with me, or just like on my own, because I'm afraid that there would be too much of like thread changes and so on. Maybe not in this specific project and this specific area, because probably there are just like 2-3 colors, as we are only starting on the sky. So maybe that wouldn't be that bad, but I'm not sure if with other projects it would also work that well. So definitely I will be able to tick off stitching and filming from my to-do list for today. So I had plans that I will do some cleaning, I will do some stitching. So far, stitching is working. I don't know how's that going to work with the other things. Now I need to touch that, because with 2 cats, it's basically, I can vacuum twice a day, and within 10 minutes I have fluff flying absolutely everywhere. And as I had like a busy day yesterday, so now we have 2 days worth of fluff. And just like with these two monsters, I brush them. I brush them every day. I brush off like 2-3 handfuls of fur from each of them. Still, it's like never-ending story. The amount of fluff they have is absolutely infinite. Infinite? Infinite? Infinite. Infinite. Is it correct? Infinite. I hope so. Sounds better than infinite. Infinite? Okay, now I just confused myself. So it's without end. It's like a bottomless pit, but on the outside. And they love just jumping on everything and just leave their kitty glitter everywhere. So definitely at least vacuuming to have that from the corners and so on, because I do not have, thanks to these two, I do not have dust bunnies. I basically have dust ponies and fur ponies, so not good. So that would be a bit of cleaning, then in the evening a bit of cooking. Today is the weather, the temperatures are a bit lower, so the thought of being in the kitchen doesn't scare me so much. So it would be cool. What are your plans for the weekend? What you probably are going to see that really on Monday. So tell me, what were your plans and if that worked out? Or what you completely spontaneously did. I'm fascinated by spontaneous people. I am scared a bit of spontaneity. Just like, how can you go somewhere to eat without studying the online menu for 3 previous days? How can you travel somewhere not knowing the parking situation? How can you do that or that? Just, here is my anxiety speaking, yay! But I'm definitely doing better with that as well. Still not the easiest thing in my life, but also not the scariest. Okay, now let's play the thread chicken. Let's see if I am able to go back and have all the crosses completed. Sometimes I think that I need to like prepare mini needles for myself, only for just like the finishing, because of course when you are just going to the end of the thread, even if the thread itself is enough to complete the stitches, when it's shorter than the length of the needle, then it's getting funky. So sometimes I'm laughing that I'm just going to start preparing mini needles for myself. So just like take a normal needle and like cut it, like maybe, I don't know, 4 millimeters below the eye. So I would be using that only for anchoring the super short thread or finishing the row with short thread and so on. I'm wondering why nobody has ever had an idea like that. Or maybe they did and I just don't know about it. Let me know if you ever came across such an invention, such a contraption. 2 more stitches. I think that I can do that. I did, and I did it without problems. So quickly anchoring that at the back. And look, I even have something to snip at the end. Snippety snip. Done. So we did quite a lot today, as you can see. Let me mark off all the stitches from today, and I'm going to let you know how much we did today. Okay, this is perfection. I'm trying to, oh no, this one knows. So I'm just going to move that like that so you don't see the pattern, but do you see the number? We did 258 stitches today, and we hit a beautiful, beautiful 500 together. And we are almost at 0.1%. Yay! 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 Exciting. So thank you so much for your time today. We'll be finishing here now. Thank you for your time. Thank you for being here with me. Thank you for stitching with me. And see you next week then. And as it's going to be uploaded on Monday, happy Monday, everyone. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.